on him!
Welcome to Fish North Georgia the Guide. Here's Caz Anderson.
Hey guys, this is Caz Anderson back doing some content for Fish North Georgia. Now this week I'm going to be recapping the Lay Lake High School BassMaster Classic. Now this was a really cool event. We actually got to weigh in on the BassMaster Classic stage, and in front of all those people it was just a phenomenal experience. But I want to talk to you guys about what went down on Lay Lake that weekend, what the fish were doing. Now Lay was in a very unique situation. It was, you could call it blown out. The river was flowing really fast, had current of up to 5 miles an hour in some places where it was drifting our boat that fast, and the water was really dirty. So naturally, current, as we all know, positions these bass behind a rock, a turn in the river in the bank. Something like that is going to create a current break where those fish can rest and ambush the bait that comes around that current break. They'll sit in those eddies and use that as ambush points. So a lot of times that's how we target fish, and it's something that, it's just like a brush pile or something that holds fish where they use it to ambush bait. Whenever there's current involved, they use current breaks as that type of ambush point. So what we were doing, we were throwing a spot sticker spinnerbait. This is actually the exact spinnerbait we were throwing with that big blade because the water was dirty and it was displacing a lot of water. Now I chose to use one Colorado blade and one willow leaf blade and that chartreuse and white color. Now there was one more key ingredient that we were using to the spinnerbait. A lot of times I'll put a trailer hook on the back of a spinnerbait in clear water, but in dirtier water, I really like to put a Kitech on the back. I was using a 3.8 inch Kitech and a color, chartreuse shad, sexy shad, something of that nature that was somewhat chartreuse, but it looked like a shad where it stand out and it really contrasts that spinnerbait well. I used one gold and one silver blade in that dirtier water. That gold blade tended to create a lot of flash. It was sunny that day, so the flash off them gold and silver blades really stood out to those fish in that dirty water. And all I would do, you don't have to really burn that spinnerbait. I would just throw it up in the current and just wind it down really slow. And that big blade, I want to be able to feel that blade thumping in the current and just, really making a lot of noise and vibration and getting those fish to trigger. Now, in those current breaks, with the water being that dirty, a lot of times it takes several casts to get those fish fired up. It doesn't happen instantly. I remembered that morning we rolled up to our spot, we stopped, and we just started fishing in that current break. And we caught some fish there in practice, but we didn't know that it would be like this. We thought we might get one or two fish out of this break. We showed up and just several minutes into it, kept fishing. We were about to leave. And I threw up there, and just as I was about to pull the trolling motor up, a fish hit it right at the boat. So that was an inkling that there are some fish there. And then boom, I'm putting the fish in the box. My partner hooks one in the back. So just boom, we have two really quick, and we just keep going up and down this little stretch of current breaks in the river in Lay Lake, right below the power plant, just on the left-hand side of the river is where we were catching our fish. Now, the water was right at the temp where you would think they would be about to spawn at. So, and I had heard coming into this tournament that there were going to be some fish spawning, but the water was just not in the condition where those fish could spawn. It was just too unstable, and any time in the spring where you have really unstable weather, it's hard for those fish to make the push and actually pull up on the bed. Lay Lake is a really popular lake where fish can pull up and eat a swim jig in the grass. We tried that in practice. It didn't work. Going about the practice period, I always like to show up and try what I hear is supposed to be working on the lake for that time of year. I read fishing reports, stuff that's going to give me a base of what to start on. I don't like to go out there and just not have any clue. I like to go out there and have an idea of what I need to look for and something to build upon. Now, that doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to find and build upon your own strengths, and that was where this spinnerbait come in. This spinnerbait is a confidence deal for me, and it's something that I just went with. I've thrown spot sticker spinnerbaits for a long time, and that something like that with that big blade and that chartreuse color, it was just perfect for that current. And that's actually what we call every one of our fish on, was that big spinnerbait. But tried a lot of our stuff in practice, and we ended up finding this deal on the last day. Lay Lake is a very unique fishery. Lots of big spotted bass, lots of big largemouth, and whenever it's stable, it can be a really, really good fishery. It's on the Coosa River, and Coosa River is known for those big spotted bass, and it's completely different from up here fishing spotted bass. We fish for them whenever they eat blueback herring. And living down there, they eat those little threadfin shad, they eat crawdads, they eat bluegill just the same as these bass up here do. But one factor, which is blueback herring, changes the whole game in the way those two different places fish. So it's different, and it's something that I'm glad to have experienced and notched under my belt and have some experience on the Coosa River. And glad to do this recap for you guys. I want to talk about the setup that I threw the spinnerbait on. This is a 6:2 to 1 gear ratio Shimano Phenom with the core solid body, micro module gearing. This reel's got it all. It retails for $349, and you will not find a better reel. This reel, a lot of times you find a reel where you cast it and you can reel it back, and the reel doesn't feel like it's all in one piece. The sides, it doesn't feel secure. This reel reels in one solid piece the whole time, and it just feels like it's all connected, which in turn is going to be more sensitive, and you're going to be able to grind those fish a lot better because of the micro module gearing. You can horse those fish as hard as you want to, as hard as your rod and line will allow, and that reel is going to hold up to the test. Casted great, never backlashed once, and the drag holds up on those big Coosa River spotted bass. It's really important that you have a really good drag to be able to withstand whenever those fish get downstream in the current, and they can pull the drag all they want to, and your drag flows smooth. It's not real sticky coming out of that reel. The rod I like, this is a 7'1" medium heavy JWR IMX Pro. It holds up to this 3/4 ounce spinnerbait really well. The tip's perfect. It really lets those fish load up on the bait, but also whenever in that current, you can set the hook really hard, bury that hook, and grind those fish to the boat. That's what it's really important, to be able to have a rod with a good tip, to be able to cast the bait and let those blades do the proper job, but also set the hook and get those fish to the boat without having any issue. So I want to thank all my sponsors real quick. Thank you to Shimano and G Loomis for all that they do for getting us here. Thank you to all of our local sponsors, and thank you to Spot Sticker Baits for making an awesome spinnerbait that led us to this great finish. We ended up getting 4th place out of 13 boats, so it's not what we wanted. Whenever you go to the BassMaster Classic, you always want to win the tournament, of course. That's the only place to finish, but it was just really truly a privilege to be able to walk across that stage and experience it in front of all those people and just be a part of the 50th BassMaster Classic. It's something that I've been to. I've been to several of them now, and they always give me chills whenever I see that pro hoist the trophy on the final day. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more Fish North Georgia content. Keep watching these recaps of tournaments. I'm going to keep doing them for you guys every so often, and keep watching these guys. Watch my podcast, watch tip videos, watch everybody else's videos on Fish North Georgia. They really do some great stuff over there. Danny and Josh have really got it going on. Thank you guys for watching, and y'all have a great day.
Thanks for watching the guide here at Fish North Georgia. Our mission is to build a community of anglers to give you the best and latest information to make your day on the water more successful. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, click the bell so you'll be notified of any future content. Make sure you check us out at fishnorthgeorgia.com, where we carry a large variety of bait manufacturers from here in the North Georgia area. So we appreciate you being part of our community, and we'll see you soon.